Hello agus fáilte go dtí Ceacht. Hi and welcome to the first lesson. So in new Clúdaíonn muid on a beater, the alphabet, Beannachtaí, greetings, agus Ceacht, so any questions. So when I'm learning a new language and I'm struggling with the pronunciation, I find it easiest sometimes to go back to basics and to learn the alphabet in that language. So the only difference in pronunciation in the Irish and English language is the letter A, which is pronounced as A. There's also some letters in the English language that don't translate over into the Irish language, and I've marked them with a black X above. However, there is an exception to this rule in certain cases when modern words have been brought into the language, such as the word zoo, which is spelled Z-U, fada. So something really interesting about the Irish language is the síneadh fada. And the síneadh fada is basically an accent that changes the sounds of the gutaí or the vowels in Irish. And just like in French with the accent aigu and the accent grave and the accent circumflex that change the sounds of the vowels are changed when the fada is placed on top of them in Irish. So A becomes A, E becomes A, I becomes E, O becomes O, U becomes U. So the first and one of the most important things that anyone wants to learn when starting a new language is how to start a conversation. So here's some of the ways that you can do that. So you can simply opt for hi or hello, which are both just the Irish forms of hi and hello. You can opt for the very traditional Gaeilge, which directly translates to God be with you. This one I just popped in for my dad because it's something that we slag my brother about all the time, so you could just start the conversation with well. And the last one is one that I included because it's a little bit more endearing for if it's someone that you're quite close to. Insert name Achara, so just insert name my friend. If you're going to ask how someone is in a conversation, this can vary from dialect to dialect. So I've included a few of them here and you can pick whichever one suits yourself the best. Conasa tatu is a very dialect neutral way of asking someone how they are. Kajamara tatu is a more Ulster based, Donegal based Irish dialect. Cian He and Awiltu is more common in the west of Ireland, specifically in the Connemara region. And I've included a more casual one here of Cajan Scale, what's the story, or Ain Crack, Annie Crack, and they're interchangeable. You can say Cajan Crack or Ain Scale. So because Collie was already confident enough to say Tame Gumai, or in his case Tame Gumma, we decided to move on to the last question there, elaborating on whether he had any news or any crack. And we said that we would expand on his vocabulary in next week's lesson on how to reply to the question, how are you? So Collie chose to answer the question, Kuje on scale, have you got any news or what's the story? And he decided to answer this with the English sentence, yesterday I gave a driving lesson to my daughter and my son. Now he knew the words Ceacht because we had been saying it in the car. He knew the word inin for daughter and mock for son, and he knew the word inye for yesterday. So what he needed here was to be helped with filling in the blanks. So what we gave him here is hug me, which is the verb for I gave, Ceacht, which is the noun for driving lesson, hig, which was a word he didn't know, so we've highlighted this in the sentence, which it means to, so to a person or a place, inin and mock. Now he knew how to say my daughter and my son. However, we've highlighted them here because I wanted to show him that when you use a possessive like ma for the word my, if it comes before a noun that starts with a vowel, you get rid of the O in the possessive and you join the words with an apostrophe. Likewise, with a word beginning with a consonant, you add a shevu, which is a H, to soften the word. So the sentence then becomes Thug me ceacht chomana, hig me inin agus mo wach inye. So do you see the way me inin becomes minin instead of mo inin, and mach becomes mo wach. It softens the word. So at the bottom left hand side of the page, you'll see a little note differentiating between bo waithlum and is maitlum. So when asking how to say this sentence, Collie said is maitlum, the sentence, a kainch in Gaeilge. Now he wasn't necessarily far off. However, we're just going to clean up a few things in that sentence. So instead of is maitlum, which means I like, we change to bo waithlum, which is I want. Another thing in that sentence that he said was a kainch, so to talk. He was on the right track here, but a better word to use would be a ra, so to say. Then on the right hand side of the page here, you'll see a little note that was just in answer to a question that Collie had. So in his sentence, he used the word inye, which is the Irish word for yesterday. So he wanted to know what today and tomorrow would be, and he also wanted to know what tonight, tomorrow night, and last night would be. So inyu is the Irish word for today, amarach is the Irish word for tomorrow, and inye is the Irish word for yesterday. Below that you will see a nort. So a nort is the word for tonight, and an easy way I have for him written here for him to remember it is N-O for now, Iche amarach, which is tomorrow night, and a rare. So the way I have a rare ingrained into his mind is with the little or E in the centre for re, which is something that has already happened. To finish off the lesson, we went back through all the notes and Collie made a list of ruddy le clochtú, so things to practice. This was a list of things that he'd never learned before, that he had learned before in school or had forgotten, and just other things that he felt needed a little bit more practice before he would fully remember them. And the only homework he's been given in any of these lessons is going to be to try and use them in everyday conversation with myself throughout the week. And I think I'm going to leave it at that because I want it to be as fun of a learning experience as possible. So Tasula gum gurwinship soltas, I hope that you enjoyed it. Agus gorosha kijuk, that it was helpful. Agus lacunije chifi meshiv don kied ceacht ella. Hopefully I'll see you for the next lesson. Slán!